Hello, my name is Aaron Bennett, and I will be going over inequalities in healthcare. And before I start, I'd like to start with discrimination. Discrimination has been a part of human history since, well, pretty much forever. And it hasn't stopped in the modern world. New ways of doing it, discriminating against LGBTQ, race, ethnicity, cliques, so on and so forth. So let's start with the LGBTQ community. Discrimination has prevented them from accessing healthcare, which is very important not only for them, but for us as well. There are laws that protect them. However, there are also laws that don't protect them. An example of a law that helps them is the non-discrimination law, which kind of goes over everyone, not just one single person. And it's just how it is, I guess. And not all states have laws that do protect them. For example, our state doesn't have it doesn't have any laws to protect the LGBTQ community. As you can see in 2010, there are a few states, however, not many are protecting them. Then by 2020, a lot of states are, mostly southern, but northeastern, not really, not at all pretty much, which should change because LGBTQ people are people. There are a lot of health disparities between the LGBTQ community and those who aren't. The LGBTQ community does have a lot of, I guess, things going on, not only because of us, but because of what healthcare doesn't provide for them. And some of you might be wondering, well, why is this important? Well, it can reduce the transmission of STDs. STDs have been a plague for a while, and we have really tried to clamp down on it. However, if we are discriminating against the LGBTQ community, we cannot really clamp down on it. And increased mental and physical well-being. A lot of the LGBTQ community is coming from very, how do I put it, conservative homes where they don't believe that being a part of that community is within a higher power of some sort. So they try to hide it, and in return, they're depressed and have a lot of mental issues. And increased longevity goes with the reduction in disease. It is what it is. People aren't dying because they have an STD or AIDS or anything like that. They're fine, they're healthy, and they are being treated. Exploration of sexual/gender identity among youth. You won't have to have your dad come up to you one day and say, hey, I'm gay. So, I found that as a plus. Okay, now on to gender inequalities. There are a lot of them, mainly because people generally don't explore a woman's body as much as they should. Doctors often downplay women's health more than men's because it's seen as sort of in our head and not something that's real and, that we're trying to fight. Doctors generally prescribe less pain medication, which, although true, women do have a higher pain tolerance. We're not completely devoid of pain. We can still feel pain, and having pain medication is important. And many women have been discharged in the middle of having a heart attack. It is not like men's. We don't have heart attacks like men. We don't function like men. We don't have the same hormone levels or anything like that. Our bodies are built differently in that sense. Not really the same. And 70% of the people that pain tend to impact are women. However, 80% of the studies are done on men or male rats, which doesn't help us at all. Women function differently, their bodies do. And having that slight difference does matter, because not only can it have problems with reproductive health, but it can also have problems with hormones, which can stop cycles, which we kind of need to get rid of a lot of things. And continuing, what on earth? Okay. There are laws that do protect us. However, that's only if it's funded by the government or a national institute. However, those that are funded by private medical companies do not have to use women whatsoever, meaning they can use men all they want, all the men that they want, all the male rats, all the male anything. However, they do not have to use females, which, as I just went over, causes a lot of problems, especially with hormones, probably reproductive health as well. And that's kind of important because about half of our population they're women, so there really shouldn't be an excuse. 49.6% of our population is women. And that means 49.6% of our entire world has to go through this. They can't get the correct medical treatment that they need. Women should not be told that, hey, what you're going through is not real, therefore you should stay home and just meditate or go work out or go do something along those lines. A lot of things go medically unexplained for a very long time, and just like how in the early 1900s women were told to smoke. We aren't perfect now, however, not doing tests on females or women or anything of the sort is holding us back, and we're kind of falling right back into that loop of, where they did the bloodletting and then pregnant women were told to smoke. None of that was healthy. However, we still did it, and it was a trend, and so is this. It needs to end. Now, on to racial inequalities. African Americans, they are 13.4% of the U.S. population. That might not seem like a lot, but that's millions upon millions of lives. Let's see. We have probably the lowest life expectancy, and for such a small population of the U.S., we should account for that more, because even if it is maybe 10% or maybe 8%, that is a lot of people. And for them to have a lower life expectancy while living in the U.S. does not cut it. There are acts that are in place, such as the Affordable Care Act, which has helped us become more diverse in the healthcare system. More African Americans are able to join are able to get the health care that they need. However, there are still problems. A lot of first and second year medical students believe that our nerve endings are less sensitive than those of European descent, which is not true. Same with our blood coagulates more quickly than white people's. That's also not true. Our blood is just like yours. We bleed, obviously, and it heals just about as fast as yours. I only see a problem if your blood is thicker than most. Same with, they believe that our skin is thicker. Not true. My skin's about as thick as yours. If it is thicker, it's probably less than a millimeter. Dear God. And this doesn't just go for like adults either. This also happens to young children. If an African American mother brings her child into the pediatric and says that her child has been experiencing many health problems and you can tell that they're in pain, obviously the mother wants her child to be healed. She doesn't want her child to go through all this pain. So a pediatrician should help them in the exact same way that they would help a child of European descent. However, that doesn't always happen. A lot of them are told that their kid will be fine, and sooner or later their kid probably isn't. And most of this is due to the fact that slave owners wanted to prove that African Americans weren't human. They said that we had larger sex organs, smaller skulls, which translated to promiscuity, and a lack of intelligence, which isn't true. A lot of the people that I know around me who are African American, European, or anything like that, we're all probably equally as smart. Some study more than others. However, we're all smart. None of us are dumb in a sense. And have a higher tolerance for heat as well as immunity to some illnesses and susceptibility to others. I think that's true for all, but for everyone, not the higher heat tolerance. Maybe if you worked your way up to it. However, an immunity to some illnesses, that applies to everyone, not just African Americans. And susceptibility to others, that's true for, once again, everyone, because that's how a human being works. I don't know how else to explain it. And that's the end. However, I believe that you should research it more because, as far as I know, we are called the land of the free and the home of the brave. However, we are crushing minorities and not allowing them to be as free as the majority, which is, it's kind of bad. And so why not stand up for those who aren't free and be a little brave, you know? Okay. Lord. Okay, how long was that?
What if I didn't record it?